Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. We're digging into the Patreon requested book by Hamza Yusuf. It digs into some poetry. So let's begin. We were discussing the definition and treatment of hatred from poem verses 32 through 33. We're on page 18 towards the bottom. The cure for hatred is straightforward. One should pray for the person toward whom he feels hatred, making specific supplications that mention this person by name, asking God to give this person good things in this life and the next. Oof, that's a hard one. Ugh. If I hate somebody, how can I pray for them to have good things, man? Like, I hate some of my managers. I hate them viscerally. If the purge was real, they'd be on my list. Like Arya Stark, you know what I mean? Oh, that's so hard to do, man. That just seems so impractical and idealistic. Some people earn their hate. Some people deserve it. I don't know, man. When one does this with sincerity, with sincerity. If I don't mean it, oh man. Hearts mend. Ugh. Like, okay, I guess there's some people I dislike them, like they could be my enemy, like maybe I fought them and I don't like them, like maybe, yeah. But there's some people who've hurt you so much that you're like, I hate you, and I'm not gonna pray for you to have good things. No. Leave their destiny up to the maker. Leave me out of it. I don't know, that's hard. If one truly wants to purify his or her heart and root out disease, there must be total sincerity in carrying out the treatments and conviction that these cures are effective. Indeed, sincerity is important, but how do you make sure that you're not letting yourself be manipulated, right? Like, if a woman's getting abused, she hates her man, she prays for him, you're almost allowing the abuse to take over you, because as a survivor, if you hate somebody for a reason, it's because that person's trying to destroy you, trying to corrupt you, they'll lead you astray, they're a bad role model, they have a filthy disposition, they are corruptible, they will corrupt you, they've caused you physical suffering or emotional distress. Some hate is earned. Like, one time my neighbor, she got mad, tried to hit me with a broom because some of the water from my potted plants dripped onto her deck. And, I hate her. I guess I could pray for her in a certain sense of like, may she have, go to some anger management classes, right? But at the same time, I've had a chef who I hate so much, I'll never pray for that person because I pray for his kids, maybe, right? Be like, I hope his kids do well. But the way he treated us workers so horribly and abusively, I couldn't find it to pray for him to do good because he's gonna keep doing bad. If he gets good things and his heart remains sick, I'm praying for a sick person who's evil to get more things. I don't know. It's hard for me to get that, just to agree with that. Arguably, the disease of hatred is one of the most devastating forces in the world. I mean, I get it, you can have a hatred that goes on to some people too much, like that guy Vosh on YouTube. He literally hates Tim Pool so much that he's obsesses over him to the point where that guy's living in another guy's head rent free. That's quite freaky, right? That's quite strange, right? That I understand. That's like an absurd amount of hatred, or like people who have too much hate for Trump or Boris Johnson or other leaders who have good and bad. You can make a case, but then some leaders are evil, like Kim Jong-un is. I hate that man. I wouldn't serve him at my table. He starves his own people. I'm not going to pray for him to have good things while he starves his people. I mean, there's so much here though. So it's your heart is supposed to hate bad people. So hate in certain senses, I mean, how is it always bad? Because that hatred can be a reminder to stay away from that evil source. I don't know, man. But the force that is infinitely more powerful is love. Yeah, but how you gonna, man? That's a hippy dippy stuff, man. Love is an attribute of God, hate is not. Well, God will hate you though, it will turn away from you if you worship idols, if you associate partners. So, what do you mean? A name of God mentioned in the Quran is al-Wadud, the loving one. Yeah, but God is the all-knowing, the wise. We humans try to think that we can love like God, we become delusional and unsafe. I mean, Disney babies, children who've only had love and then they get out into the raw world, they get chewed up real quick. Hate is the absence of love, and only through love can hatred be removed from the heart, obviously. In a beautiful hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "None of you has achieved faith until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself." Yeah, I mean, I can get that, right? I mean, love your neighbor as yourself, something like Jesus said. The 13th century scholar Imam al-Nawawi comments on this hadith. Okay, Imam, I never heard of that guy. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, says, "Brother," we should interpret this as universal brotherhood. Oh, universal brotherhood. Which includes Muslims and non-Muslims. For one should desire for his brother non-Muslims that he enter into a state of submission with his Lord, Islam. See, the golden rule is in many cultures. Buddhism, the ancient Greeks, Aristotle, the golden mean of moderation, Jesus, love your neighbor. Now we have the Prophet saying this, but the caveat here is that it's submission to Islam, right? And for his brother Muslim, he should love for him the continuation of guidance, that he remain in submission. Remaining in submission, not going off the path. Because of this, it is considered highly recommended and divinely rewarding to pray for a non-Muslim's guidance. The word love here refers to a desire for good and for benefit to come to others. See? Now, love refers here to the desire for good. But if I hate someone who's abusive and who is themselves a degenerate evildoer, I don't want them to be a benefit to others because they'll be benefiting their evil regime. I don't know, man. This love talk sometimes bothers me a little bit. This love is celestial or spiritual love and not earthly or human love. For human nature causes people to desire harm to befall their enemies and to discriminate against those who are unlike them in creed, color, or character. In creed, obviously, you have to be careful sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna pray for like, if someone's works in the Satanic Temple and they're glorifying abortion, I'm not gonna, like, want to associate with them. Do I want harm to fall some of them? The people who do human sacrifice in the woods or do weird rituals with animals, I do want harm to befall them, right? I do, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Evil people don't deserve mercy. And I get it, moral relativism, but at the same time, I'm not going to pretend like I'm above hatred. I don't trust people who are, I'm all about love, hippy dippy dippy da, because those people got some skeletons in their closet. I think you be real, admit that you don't like somebody, I respect that more, right? I don't know. However, men must oppose their nature, pray for their brothers, and desire for others what they desire for themselves. Yeah, you can do that at the same time, though, without just, I don't know, this is hard. Moreover, whenever a man does not desire good for his brother, envy is the root cause. No! If I don't want good for somebody, it's not because I envy them in their debauchery, right? I would rather them turn from their ways, become better. I'm envious of people who have good mothers and fathers and have, healthy relationships and who like their jobs and stuff like that. That could be a source of envy. But I don't want bad for them. I just want to be in the same position like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't hate them. But envy can turn into hate. Like if somebody's not sharing food, they get access to food. I've become envious of that. Like, why do you get to eat that food and I don't get the food? Yeah. I don't want them to die because they're getting access to food and I'm not, right? Like if they're a manager and they get to have exclusive meals of seafood or something while we eat rice and beans, sometimes I can get envious, but that doesn't mean I want harm to befall them. I just want them to be able to share food. So there's so many nuances here, right? Envy is a rejection of God's apportionment to the world. Yeah, now I've worked better on that to say, like, you know what? Allah's given them the opportunity to eat whatever they want. Let them eat it. Thus, one is opposing how God meted out sustenance in accord with His wisdom. Therefore, one must oppose his own ego desires and seek treatment for this disease with the healing force of acceptance of the divine decree and prayer on behalf of enemies in a way that suppresses the ego's nafs. Oh, suppressing the ego in relation to divine decree, and how you treat hatred. Some people earn their hatred, though, fam. What do you think? Help me out!